This show is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Bill Martinez Live, a program about current events, our culture, our values, our politics, and our future. And now, Bill Martinez.
We better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going on.
Thank you. Now back with more developments in the Democratic campaign. Britt Hume rejoins us. Britt, Bernie Sanders is hanging on, says he's going to hang on to the convention. You know, what is this about? The math is just, he's not there.
The math is insurmountable against him, and I would say a couple of things. One is that obviously she's ahead of him with the delegates that were elected or chosen in caucuses. She's particularly ahead of him by an insurmountable margin when you count the superdelegates. His only conceivable chance would be if she were indicted between tomorrow's expected triumph, when she goes over the top, and the convention, and the party decided to go in another direction, which is, I think, unlikely. Because when you think about it, he's complaining, bitterly about the superdelegates, and others are too. The fact is, these superdelegates were instituted to avoid the nomination of candidates like Bernie Sanders, candidates who are exotic in terms of their views and otherwise, from small states whose elective possibilities seem limited, to put it mildly.
Although he points to the polls where he's beating Donald Trump, so that's what his case is made on the stump. Britt,
guess what? I bet the superdelegates will stick with her.
Yeah, Britt, thank you. Hillary Clinton's brother.
Yeah, there it is. Comments from Britt Hume and Bret Baier last night. Regarding Sanders' desire to keep fighting on, although he did make a move, Scott, and let, I guess, half the staff off. I mean, at this point, it is a fait accompli, and so it really comes down to you're going to exit the same way you came in. You built it up, and I mean, you started with a rather rather small group of people, and you're going to exit that way because. His fight at this point is going to be at the convention to have any kind of influence, but I think that, it's going to be tough to, move his followers, behind Hillary. I mean, because though there are some similarities and though they want to insist they've got more to agree on than disagree, those disagreements are very heartfelt, and there's a lot of passion there.
Well, I think I saw somewhere it was 20% of his followers say that if Bernie doesn't get it, they'll vote for Trump.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of followers, so that could be a pretty significant swing.
That's a big number, no doubt. And the other thing that they know historically from the young people is that they will just opt to stay home. They're really not seeing, the key role that their vote can play in the political process. They haven't matured to that point to appreciate the value of their vote. And dare I say, there are much older adults who misunderstand that process as well and the significance of their vote. And this is why we've been insisting and encouraging everybody to make sure, first of all, you register to vote. Secondarily, get informed. Know what you're voting for. And thirdly, actually go out and vote. I mean, I am shocked, as an evangelical and one who believes in God and the godly principles that this country was established on. I am shocked when people, church-going people, and there are many who don't even bother to register to vote. Only about 50% of evangelicals even bother to vote. And of that, only 50% of those actually vote. That is most unfortunate. And it is a drag on this country. It is a drag on the direction. It is, at a time when the country really needs to check in with its moral compass and understand that regardless of the attacks on the Sisters of the Poor and the attacks on religion and faith, when you consider the history of this country, who championed the causes if it wasn't, people of faith that championed the causes that have formed, the foundation and have been at the very roots of so many good things in this country, but people of faith. And we need people of faith, again, to re-engage this culture We cannot sit this out. We need to be aware, and we need to be active with what's going on in our country today if we're going to get it back on track. This is Bill Martinez. We're live at 5 minutes after the top of the hour.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Bill Martinez Live, a program about current events, our culture, our values, our politics, and our future. And now, Bill Martinez.
We better stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going on. Stop. Hey, what's that sound?
Welcome back, America. Just about 6 minutes after the top of the hour. This is Bill Martinez. For more information on the show, you want to go to BillMartinezLive.com. It is all right there for you. And if you want to be so kind to drop me an email, Bill@BillMartinezLive.com, and you can say, hey, look, I want to be in the running for that DVD Blu-ray of The Young Messiah that we are giving away. So include that and also your address, and you could be a lucky winner. It's just that simple, okay? And speaking of The Young Messiah, we are honored to have back with us the one and only director of the movie The Young Messiah. We're talking about Cyrus Nowrasteh. Cyrus, always good to be talking to you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, Bill.
Hey, good to be talking to you again. The Young Messiah, congratulations. It is coming to Blu-ray DVD, as we mentioned, and we're real excited about this. Many are lauding this as the family DVD of the summer. What a great title.
Yes, well, thank you. We're very excited because, you know, there's so many who saw the film when it was released theatrically, but now even more people get to see it.
Well, and that's what I'm hearing. A lot of people, and of course our good friend with Focus on the Family, Bob Waliszewski, who said, and I agreed with him as we were, talking about The Young Messiah, this is a remarkable movie. I mean, the concept of The Young Messiah, inspired by Scripture, rooted in history. It imagines a year in the boyhood of Jesus, remaining true to the character of Jesus revealed in the Bible. And, as you and I talked about this in Nashville, about the only challenge, because whenever you deal with Scripture, you get literalists that say, wait a minute, you're talking about a younger Jesus and a different timeline possibly, but, people, got beyond that, and they were willing to look and embrace the message of the young Messiah and the storyline that you guys put together.
Yes, I mean, it was a long journey. We got a lot of wonderful endorsements from, different denominations, faith leaders all over the country, and that really helped.
Mm-hmm. Well, certainly you got the backing of evangelicals, and it did help. But, more importantly, it was the story that you wanted to relate to the people through the young Messiah, right?
Yes. I mean, look, this film was made because we love the message of the film. It was the people involved with the film are devoted to Jesus. We're not trained theologians, but we're followers of Christ, sort of using our art to point people towards Him. Mm-hmm. And, it's how you do it. If it's done with respect and with reverence and with all the right sort of motives, I think that makes all the difference in how people respond to it.
Was the idea, Cyrus, that you wanted to, we know Jesus as the divine, But one of the ideas of Jesus' divinity that has challenged people is that he could be fully divine yet fully human. Was part of the driving force in the young Messiah to demonstrate the humanness of the boy Jesus?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you hit on it. We wanted to explore the human side of young Jesus, where he sort of veiled his divinity in accordance with the Father's will, and experience him as a young child, as a young human child at age 7.
Well, Cyrus, the comments that you have been getting, literally thousands upon thousands of people's response to the movie. I imagine this has to be encouraging for you and the team that put this movie together, because, like anything, you don't know until you know. You come up with an idea and you say, okay, this makes sense. This is interesting. And, and of course, the cast, everything like you and I talked about, you said in your experience, the movie is not finished until John Debney touches it. So even the musical score, it all comes together hand in glove.
Absolutely, absolutely. And, I think people want to see the movie with all the pieces there, all the bells and whistles, the music, the cinematography, the actors, the performance. That's my job as the director, which is to put all that together. And I think that at its heart, I think every Christian wonders and wants to know more about Jesus, motivated by their love for him.
Right.
And I think that everyone's curious, and I think has been curious about, well, what might his childhood have been like? Mm-hmm. And that's what we try to explore here.
Well, and to that point, you take it a step further in releasing the Young Messiah Blu-ray and DVD. You're offering a church study guide by Wing Clips that I thought was pretty interesting. So you're assisting in that conversation because through the responses I mentioned that you've been getting, people they want to continue this dialogue, don't they?
No, absolutely they do. And one of the things that's most gratifying for me in this whole journey was watching the reaction of children to this movie and seeing them connect with the child Jesus. Because for a lot of children, and this has been told to me by lots of priests that I've talked to in the course of this journey, their image of Jesus is this man just suffering on the cross. And the opportunity to sort of connect with him as a child like them is a rare one.
Yes.
That's what this film affords.
Well, the family DVD of the summer is further enriched by this thought-provoking journey that you refer to through the movie, with key scripture verses serving as anchors to guide wonderful, memorable, and unique conversations about what was life like for Jesus and his family, and addressing the enduring question, which is asked to this day, that people have had, wristbands made of, what would Jesus do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's with us always.
Well, for the people that now that have seen the movie, in the cinemas, now they have a golden opportunity to get their hands on the DVD Blu-ray combo pack, which will be coming out next week, and with this free church study guide for leaders by Wing Clips, which is creating family-focused conversation and, debates around this timeless question that we had referred to here, Cyrus, earlier. What is, I guess after all is said and done, what is your ultimate hope and prayer for people that see this movie?
Well, I want them to be, entertained. It's a work of entertainment, but I also want them to be uplifted. And it causes people to come out of the theater wanting to know more, wanting to talk about Jesus, wanting to talk about their faith, and to share that. Then it's more than we could ever hope for.
Well, Cyrus Nowrasteh, the director of The Young Messiah, Thank you so much for being with us. Congratulations to you and the team on the movie. We're looking forward to the release next week of the Blu-ray DVD package. Thank you so much for being with us on Bill Martinez Live, Cyrus.
Thanks for having me, Bill. It's great to speak to you again.
This report is brought to you by Alcon. In the kitchen, vision is everything. It ensures food is cooked properly, knives are sharpened with precision, and ingredients are measured with accuracy. For the past 25 years, Chef Jeffrey Zakarian has presided over some of the country's top restaurants. Like other chefs, wearing glasses while cooking began to affect his performance, so he looked for an alternative option. With Alcon Dailies Total One contact lenses, he found a reliable and comfortable solution.
A kitchen can be an obstacle course. It's critical I clearly see everything that's happening around me. If my glasses fog up or get in the way, or my contact lenses are uncomfortable, it can impact my performance. The water gradient technology in the Dailies Total One contact lenses deliver all-day comfort, helping me perform at my best in the kitchen and throughout the day. Sometimes I even forget I'm wearing them.
The unique water gradient technology behind Dailies Total One contact lenses provides a cushion of moisture that delivers all-day comfort. For more information, visit DailiesTotal1.com.
Dangerous blood clot device alert. If you or a loved one had an IVC filter placed to prevent blood clots from traveling to your heart or lungs and suffered an injury, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA warns that IVC filters may cause serious complications, such as heart or lung damage, internal bleeding, and even death. These dangerous blood clot devices can break, and the metal fragments can travel to your heart or lungs, causing serious injuries. If you or a loved one suffered organ damage or other injuries from an IVC filter, you may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Act now. Time is limited to file a claim. For a free consultation and free information, call Injury Help Desk at 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507. 800-478-1507.
This is an advertisement. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. InjuryHelpDesk.com is responsible for this advertisement. Principal office, Las Vegas, Nevada.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, LibertyOnCall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to LibertyOnCall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's LibertyOnCall.org.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
The final phase of extermination is set to commence now. And as population die-off becomes evident, you know it is the time of punishment in all that is written. The cover for mass die-off is evolution and global warming frauds, also used as false proof of their Christ. They are from the lines that were disinherited 2,000 years ago. Now they claim to be his Christ based upon blood type, DNA, and long lifespan. Go to unveilingthem.com. That's UNVEILING them.com.
It's always a great day here at Bill Martinez Live.
Who is the gopher's ally? His friend. The harmless squirrel and the friendly rabbit. I'm going to use you two guys to do my dirty work for me.
What more could you want? Bill Martinez Live.
Oh, that's one of my favorite scenes. I love that. 19 after the top of the hour. Welcome back, America. Bill Martinez here with you. For more information on the show, BillMartinezLive.com. That's where you want to go. Hey, if you want to be in the running for the free DVD of Young Messiah, DVD Blu-ray that's going to be released next week, but we've got it now, and we can send it out to you. Make sure you send me an email, bill@BillMartinezLive.com. Tell me you want to be in the running for it. Include your address, and we'll put you in the hopper, and you could be the big winner. Okay? Well, we're going to be talking new tech trends for 2016 with our next guest. And according to the latest global technology trends report from Accenture, companies can often feel overwhelmed by the pace of technology change, experiencing digital culture shock, quote unquote, at the prospect of keeping up with the competition. As technology advancements accelerate at an unprecedented rate, dramatically disrupting the workforce, companies that equip employees, partners, and consumers with new skills can fully capitalize on those innovations that seem to be traveling at the speed of light. In a companion survey of more than 3,100 businesses and IT executives worldwide, Accenture found that 33% of the global economy is already impacted by digital. Even further, 86% of survey respondents anticipate the pace of technology change will increase at a rapid or unprecedented rate over the next 3 years. And here to tell us more about it is Michael Biltz. He's the managing director for Accenture Technology Vision. Michael, welcome to Bill Martinez Live. How are you?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thank you for coming on. I always love, being up to date on these new tech trends. And, of course, we're looking at the latest and greatest ones. And I appreciate that because my interest has always been in business, and I can see what's going on. I mean, I every time I think about these new innovations and the way technology is moving, as I say, at the speed of light, I think of my old boss and mentor, who was a number 2 Ticonderoga pencil and a legal pad kind of guy. And to this day, he's still the same thing. I think he only has a computer on his desk for decoration.
No, I think that's where we see a lot of it shifting from is that the days where technology wasn't a part of every business are really passing us by. But the crazy thing that we're seeing happen now is that it's no longer just the tech companies that are really driving this. Suddenly it's traditional companies that are picking it up too. And whether you're a General Electric or Procter & Gamble or a Caterpillar, is suddenly you're becoming a technology company, and that's going to make things go even faster moving forward.
Yeah, without a doubt. And in this survey, what did you find are the 5 technology trends that came out of this Accenture Technology Vision report?
Yeah, well, let me start with the first one, because I think it's probably going to be the most broadly impactful, and it's what we're calling intelligent automation. And it's really this idea that says now that we have all of these companies, Caterpillar, type company that you wouldn't necessarily expect to be a technology company, really starting to develop technology solutions, is that we see, this automation and artificial intelligence, things starting to seep into every aspect of our lives. So let me give you an example. So you look at the education system, and you take a university like Arizona State. Is that right now they're working with and experimenting, with startups from an AI space around Newton, as well as traditional companies like McGraw-Hill, to offer online bots that will be teaching math students. Wow. And it's a crazy idea that, suddenly what you imagined your college looking like, the big stadium lecture halls, with students up front, eager to hear, and slackers in the back sliding in, may become a thing of the past as people are looking at changing fundamentally, the way that we do things like education. We can personalize and customize, through a interface, how we teach an individual, versus the one-size-fits-all things, that we're doing in most universities today.
Go figure, huh? I mean, here we are trying to train the AIs, and here they are now. They're training us with their information. This is quite revolutionary, with the introduction of the whole robotic technology here, Michael.
Yeah, it really is. And what we're going to see is that it's so revolutionary, not because each individual thing is, Is DSL is using drones in order to deliver packages, and Amazon is, pushing that direction. But I think what's so revolutionary about all of it is that it really is going to start to seep into everything. We're going to start to see how we do healthcare change, because now every MRI is going to be connected to the hospital, which is going to be connected to your insurance company, which is going to be connected to your Nike Fitbit. And all of these things are going to provide new and interesting ways to, diagnose health faster, to understand what's happening with the population, as well as provide better healthcare and services, to an individual.
And, of course, the dynamic tension on the other side is privacy. How do we, embrace all this new technology and protect our privacy at the same time?
Yeah, and I think it's going to be more than just privacy. Is that it's really going to start to revolve out what we're terming digital trust. Is that we have to start creating relationships between businesses and their consumers, and even businesses and other businesses, that go beyond just, I'm going to protect your data, because as we're talking about all these new technologies, we're going to start to put ourselves at significantly greater risk. Let me give you an example. So a number of months ago, Tesla put out a patch to their cars that added automated driving features to it. So you can accelerate and slow down on the highway automatically, change lanes, or even do a self-park. And while at one hand it's really exciting because it's new features for your car, on the other is you've just now added the capability for the car to control itself. And so you're suddenly very vulnerable to new attacks that says your car could be hacked. And suddenly that becomes, a life and death situation. And so what you're asking Tesla to do is not just create a trust in the capability, to protect somebody's data, is you're actively protecting their life.
Their very life, exactly. Well, in the report theme, kind of segueing into this, you talk about people first. Break that down.
Yeah, and so one of the really fascinating things that we've seen is that the pendulum is finally starting to really swing back towards people. So we've really spent the last 15 years or so with companies and big businesses really laser focused on technology and cost cuttings and efficiency and scale. And now that everybody's starting to get pretty good at it, and everybody's starting to really use this technology, what we're seeing is that that's not the pieces that are really differentiating one person from the next. Is that it's what's differentiating folks is their ability to actually take up and use the technology and implement it fast, which means, updating the culture of your workforce. And then tying these technologies to useful and simple things that actually make people's lives better so that they adopt it. And so the companies that are really thriving are the ones who are looking not at technology, but are taking that people-first approach that says, how do I make people's lives better?
Right. And can we take advantage of tapping into the people's consciousness and creativity to advance the use of this technology? Because you introduce the technology and you think operationally, okay, this is what it should do, and then you put a human being on the other end, and before you know it, you've got something much more advanced and successful than you originally anticipated, don't you?
Absolutely, and we're seeing more and more of that. Is that idea of not replacing people with technology, but rather augmenting from people with technology.
Exactly.
Is becoming really, really powerful.
And I think that's the answer.
Crazy the types of things we're seeing.
Yeah, that's the answer, and I think it negates the fear of technology being inculcated in these businesses today. Because sometimes, the quick answer is, hey, we're bringing in technology to replace people, especially with the discussion of minimum wage and all these other things that come into play. I'm a maximum wage kind of guy, and I believe that, technology joined with human creativity can be win-win for all concerned. Michael, 5 seconds left. Where can they go for more information? This is some really good stuff here.
Yeah, go to www.accenture.com. That's ACCENTURE.com, or you can Google Accenture Technology Vision.
Web.com want to build your business a successful website for free, just like we did for these current Web.com customers.
We've used and looked at other website designers, but there's nobody better than Web.com.
Web.com can build your website in as little as 7 days free. Plus, we'll promote it on all the major search engines like Google, Yahoo, and Bing. If after 30 days you're happy, we'll continue to provide promotion, hosting, support, and maintenance, all for one low monthly fee. If not, cancel and pay nothing.
If you're in business today and you don't have a web presence, you won't be taken seriously.
Call right now and you'll also get a free .com or .net domain name for your new website powered by VeriSign, the world's leading domain name provider.
Call 800-765-1480 or go to web.com/radio. That's 800-765-1480.
No upfront charge for site build, after which ongoing fees apply. Rights to site are relinquished when canceled. Domain included during active service, after which fees apply.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Why does the medical community dispense little colorful pills that restrict the production of stomach acid? You ever think about that? Isn't it stomach acid's job to break down food before it enters the small intestines? Could this possibly lead to compromised digestion, leading further to malabsorption, leading even further to bone loss and many other health complications? Well, the FDA has issued a number of product warnings, including all proton pump inhibitor drugs, either for prescription or over-the-counter purchases. These potential interactions have ranged from absorption alterations of vitamins and minerals, metabolic effects on bone density, alteration of drug interactions, and their intended effect, infection risk, and even organ damage. Is it possible to find safer solutions to heartburn? At Bill Martinez Live, we support structure and function of healthy digestion with a Healthy Body Digestion Pack. Find us at BillMartinezLive.com Longevity or call 855-305-8326. Healthy acids lead to healthy body. Again, 855-305-8326.
Send your emails direct.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Ladies and gentlemen.
NSA free to Bill at BillMartinezLive.com.
Hey, you also want to take note of that email address because you could be in the running for the free Young Messiah DVD Blu-ray disc that we're giving away. All you got to do is send me an email. Say, Martinez, put me in the hopper. I want to be in the running for those free DVD Blu-ray discs. And that is the Young Messiah, which is being released now. And you get a chance to win it absolutely free. Thank you very much, Bill Martinez Live, huh? How good does that get? Thank you so much for joining us and getting involved in the conversation. I know this is a bit disturbing, in that conversation with Sarah Westwood, the watchdog reporter for the Washington Examiner, and I'm so grateful that she, brings up these points about the VA, and and I got to tell you, I feel bad when I have to talk about, the union and some of the characteristics of the union. I think this is the reason why they've been, pushed out of the private sector, because it doesn't work in the free market system. People want to be rewarded for a good job, and the union seems to disincentivize. This is my experience, okay? And maybe for some of you who have been involved in the union, it's been a very positive experience, and God bless you. That is awesome. I'm happy to deal with that contention. I'm only sharing with you the experience that I've had and with other people that have been involved in various unions, and they found it to be quite the opposite. Not an incentive, but rather a disincentive to where people are rewarded for mediocrity. They don't want people standing out. And when I look over the landscape of our government, that's what I see happening time and time again, that frustrates, the driven potential of what America, at the very heart of what America is all about. And our next guest, Nellie Galan, we hope to have on here in just a few moments. She's going to, share what hard work can do and what it's done for her immigrant story. And it's all based on hard work. I mean, she's risen to become the president of Telemundo, first female to do that. And I understand that she is with us right now. Nellie Galan, welcome to Martinez Live. How are you?
Oh, my God. So lovely to talk to you. I'm happy
Hey, good to be talking. Hey, I tell you, I need to brag on you because, you are an American immigrant story, just as with my family as well, an entrepreneur,
yes,
media
I
mogul.
know.
Emmy Award-winning producer, dubbed the Tropical Tycoon by the New York Times Magazine. You were born in Cuba. You put yourself through Catholic school by selling Avon, starting at 13. Later, at 22, became the youngest TV station manager in the country, working her way up to become the first female president of Telemundo, which I mentioned earlier. And, and it's all about hard work, but it's part of the DNA, I insist on, part of the DNA that's built into the American fabric. And it affords an incredible opportunity. There's no other country like America that allows us to enjoy this opportunity, right?
I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, and you and I have traveled two different roads, although similar. With me, my father was from Spain, my mother from Mexico, and they raised 10 kids, and they believed that we should assimilate and work hard, and they were a great example, for us, and we've been blessed, to enjoy that, just as you've been blessed to enjoy what America has to offer.
I agree with you 100%, and I think we're all, very proud to be part of this country, and I think that when you immigrate to this country and your parents, are so just grateful to be here, I think your work ethic and everything that you do is to bring value to yourself and to your community and to your country.
Exactly. Well, Nellie, I get heat from people because of the immigration issue, and you and I share the same mindset and perspective, and that I believe that it's about hard work. Here's the opportunity. Do it the right way. Let's be legal. Let's understand and have a conversation so that we're not just discrediting people for their opinions, but we're finding a way to embrace and bring them in and get people out of the shadows so that they can be productive in this country.
I agree with you. And I think, I think a lot of what we hear and I'm so glad we're having this conversation because I think a lot of people don't know immigrants or don't really experience what's going on with us and don't realize how committed we are to doing great things in this country and how grateful we are to be here. And I think that those people need to be praised and honored. And I think that, people don't do that enough because I don't think they really understand what it's all about.
Well, when I speak to Hispanics across the country, Nellie, they're as frustrated as anybody else about this dysfunctional and broken immigration system. It is not a level playing field, and this needs to be addressed post-haste, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Well, I think a lot of, it's not just Latinos, obviously, but people that work very hard and live, every day scared or their children are scared or whatever. I think there needs to be clarity about what are the rules, and I don't think, how Latinos are. We live by rules. So it's not that anybody wants to not live by the rules. It's just no one's really worked on a solution that makes sense. But I think it has to be done.
And I think it's unfair to a degree. Yes, people are gaming the system. I don't care if you're Hispanic, you're white, whatever. If given the opportunity to game the system and take advantage of it, will people do that? They will do it. But I agree with you, Nellie. I think it's being over-publicized and over-focused on that we're really not getting a true picture on it. But the attitude, at least, and it seems to be your case as well, with the Hispanics you're talking with, is that they believe that things should be fair, that it needs to be supported. There are rules because the rules protect everybody. Because some immigrants who are here legally, they're frustrated that they're losing jobs to people who are coming in, kind of in the shadows and undermining, their opportunity to do right by their families.
That's right. I mean, that's one of the reasons I wrote the book, Bill, because I think also we're not really hearing the stories of, like right now the book Self-Made is about, I wrote it really for women, even though it's going to be very helpful to men, but because women in America have become the fastest growing entrepreneurs, and leading the pack are diverse women, Latinas, African Americans, Asian, Korean, Indian women. And I think those women, out of necessity after the 2008 crash, in the middle of the digital age, were able to rise up and start businesses from their home, and even 1 hour a week while they had another job, and really are adding to the economy of this country. And I think it's important to say that, because I don't think we're hearing enough positive stories. I mean, those women have brought in, since 2008, $1.6 trillion into this country, and 7 out of 10 employees are from those women and diverse women that are starting businesses. It's a lot. 7 million new jobs have been created from those women. I think those are things we need to hear about as well, because I think, all these women get from what we hear on the news is negative feedback. And yet every advertiser in America, every retail in America knows that these diverse women are the number one consumer in the country. Without them, no business can succeed. So it's very important to tell that story as well, and to really bring some positivity, because as a Latina, and I'm a very empowered person, but how do you feel if constantly what you're hearing is negative, and we want you to leave, and this and that, and we're not breaking down the information to understand what's really going on with all of these people, and helping them to really, not to take a handout, but to create businesses. And I think that's the message I want to put out there, that this is the moment to create businesses and create opportunities for everyone.
Exactly. Well, and this is the importance, the timing of your book, Self-Made, Becoming Empowered, Self-Reliant, and Rich in Every Way, because it is a headline. It is a headline that needs to be put out there to balance, like you say, all this negativity, because there's, we're in this heated political season, and you get all these little headlines and sound bites that go out that want to pull people down. And what I appreciate about your book is that you're raising people. And as you say, not only
it's very easy to put people down, but let's find a solution. And the solution is, I'm telling women, the times demand that you become self-made, and here's how you do it. And here's all the hidden money in America that you can tap into that's earmarked for you. So the book is very, it's very much a solution and a help for women and men. I mean, the reason I want men to read the book is because going forward, if you don't partner with a woman, and certainly a diverse woman, you're not going to have a business, because all the earmarked opportunities are for women. We're the heads of households, we're the number one consumer, and we're the number one voter. And
Nellie, we got to keep this conversation going. Stay with us for another break here. Nellie Galan is
looking for that edge during those intimate moments. We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
Are you married? Do you and your husband both have term life insurance? If you both don't, you should. You have a lot to protect. Call now, get a free quote for your husband, and while you're at it, get a quote for yourself too, because you both need term life insurance. Call now. 800-915-9164, 800-915-9164, 800-915-9164. Rates are at all-time lows. We'll shop over 30 top-rated companies to get you the best possible rates. Term life insurance. It's the perfect way to protect the quality of your family's lifestyle. You and your husband both need term life insurance, so call now for a free quote for the both of you. 800-915-9164, 800-915-9164, 800-915-9164.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pulaski of the Pulaski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states. Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
This is Rick Ossick, president of Famous Footwear. Our company is working together with the March of Dimes through March for Babies to raise money and awareness about the serious problem of premature birth in the U.S. As a business leader, I know that babies born very sick or too soon cost businesses billions of dollars each year, in addition to the emotional stress on employees and their families. That's why Famous Footwear is committed to raising funds to improve the health of moms and babies everywhere. Won't you please join us in the March for Babies? Start a team today at marchforbabies.org.
Here's Dr. Paul Meyer, Christian psychiatrist, author of 85 books, and founder of the national chain Meyer Clinics, to tell you about To Your Health liquid vitamins.
I've been taking these every day for over a decade now, and I try to encourage every one of my clients to take them every day. And there's a number of reasons. First of all, it's the best vitamins you can get. It's got dozens of vitamins, antioxidants, and nutrients in it. And then the most important reason why I do it as a psychiatrist and recommend it to my patients is because it's got brain food in it. It's got the essential amino acids. It's got tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, choline, vitamin B6, and these chemicals that are all natural from food turn into the brain chemicals that make you happy.
To Your Health is delicious. Find out more today. Call us 800-801-3459 or visit online at mytoyourhealth.com. Use the coupon code RADIO15 for a 15% discount on your order. That's mytoyourhealth.com.
Are your Google search results killing you? Unflattering content in blogs, news articles, online reviews, social media, or other sources can jeopardize your reputation, your business, and your livelihood. Let Reputation.com help. Our patented technology will make the truth about you more visible while pushing down unwanted negative content. Improve your Google search results. Call Reputation.com at 1-800-831-0771 for a free consultation. That's 800-831-0771.
Listening to Bill Martinez Live.
Welcome back, America. Bill Martinez here, 14 minutes before the top of the hour. Our conversation with Nellie Galan continues. Her book, Self-Made, Becoming Empowered, Self-Reliant, and Rich in Every Way. Nellie, your family immigrated from Cuba when you were a young girl. And, of course, you've seen history now going through a new course with Cuba and relations, trying to reconnect with Cuba. What is your position on the U.S.-Cuba relations?
Well, I think, the Cuba thing is very difficult for, Cuban Americans because on one hand we're very happy to be able to go see our families. And, I have a lot of family in Cuba. I've been back. And so it's, heartwarming. And at the same time, we understand that it's still a totalitarian government and there's no internet there. And, we don't want to do a rah, rah, rah quite yet because until there are real changes, until there's a free election, until there are real changes, we have to be very careful and cautious. And again, not be too excited. And so it's tough. It's tough when your friends want to go to Cuba and you're excited for them as a travel buff. You go, yeah, it's great, go. But it's still very painful because, my family came to this country and every single thing was taken away from them and they came with the shirt on their back. So it's a mixed feeling for everything. So as a younger generation and as something, if you ask my parents, they're not thrilled at all. But if you ask me, I'm more in the middle. Like, I do want to see change. I do think by opening up Cuba, hopefully the people of Cuba will stand up and want a different life. But I'm also very cautious because I also know that dictators don't usually give up their throne very quickly or easily. So
exactly.
I have mixed feelings about it, honestly. Very mixed feelings and cautious.
Well, like you and like your book and your heart is that it gives us an opportunity to a dialogue and to influence the constituency there. I mean, because look at, you got people coming here from America going to Cuba and saying, hey, look at this, it was very difficult, but this is our life and this is what could happen. I mean, this could put some pressure from the inside out on the Castro regime, and we'll see what happens, because now, the windows of Cuba are now opening up, and people are going to be able to look into Cuba, and they're not necessarily going to be able to get away with what they did too previously. What do you think?
Well, I think the next few years will be very interesting. I think what I understand is that what we've done is we've brought a kind of microscope to Cuba, and now everyone else is talking about Cuba, and hopefully that pressure of the world looking at it will create change. And I think that's the best we can hope for.
Exactly.
And once again, I think, going back to what we were saying before and what we're saying now, I think it's all about not just talking about things, Bill, but really all of us as citizens making changes in what we see in our country that we don't like, what we see around the world that we don't like, and realizing our power, each individual's power as a purchaser and as a voter always. I think that's one of the big messages of my book. It's like, knowing your power, knowing that you have the ability to make changes one person at a time, and not to just blah, blah, blah about things, but actually do it. And I think, again, I'm taking a very economic approach to the change in my community and the change that I want to see in women, who I think are the sleeping giant in this country. And my approach is to not to be somebody waiting for a handout, but to go take advantage of this digital age and go make money, start a business, bring wealth and abundance to your family, and help that's the only way you can help your country, help elect politicians, and help make changes in your community, is to make money.
Exactly. Well, and as you say in your book, Self-Made, I mean, the change starts with you. Go be that change that frustrates you, that you're not seeing in others. I mean, the fact that you see that, and you witness that frustration is an indication that it really is the onus is on you, because you're seeing it. And, sometimes it's hard to look at it that way, because it's easier for us to be critical as opposed to being self-indicting. But, your encouragement is that there is gold in them dar hills, and there's plenty of opportunity here in America in spite of the economic challenges, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
I am not about victimization. I'm about taking the opportunities that are out there and running with them. And we are swimming in opportunities. There's more money for entrepreneurs. There's more opportunities, as you'll read in the book, than there are jobs in America. And I say, let's go for it.
Exactly. Well, you had a chance on the initial in the initial series of Celebrity Apprentice Season 1 to get to know Donald Trump and experience Donald Trump. And you're saying that the Donald Trump that you met then versus the Donald Trump you're seeing in the political environment are two different characters.
Yeah, I think, for starters, let's remember that The Celebrity Apprentice is a TV show. It's kind of an altered state. I don't know if I knew the real Donald Trump or the TV guy. I certainly thought back then that was kind of the shtick that everybody does to make a reality show, and I'm a reality show producer for ratings. I didn't think it was a political platform. I was as shocked as anyone to see that he was running for office. But I think that, again, I am one of those people, as you said, that I just wrote a book, Self-Made, to uplift people, to show people the way, to help with solutions, to show them how to do it. I am not about putting people down. I don't think, there's a way to do things and do positive reinforcement, and then there's negative reinforcement, and there's fear-mongering approach to life. Certainly, I don't agree with the fear-mongering. I think these are very difficult times in America, and I think we need to bring people together and show people the way, not put them down.
Well, Nellie, I know that you've got to go. I cannot thank you enough for coming on the show.
Much,
we need to stay connected here, okay? We need to stay connected.
Anytime. I would love to spend more time with you. And I'm so happy that we both are into becoming self-made, because it's an inside-out mindset that has to happen in order to go to the next level in America.
Well, Nellie, thank you so much. Have a blessed day. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Nellie Galan, and as we were talking with her and her book, Self-Made, Becoming Empowered, Self-Reliant, and Rich in Every Way. I mean, an incredible story here, and it's one that needs to be told because, sometimes when, you look and you see the TV sound bites and you see the Mexican flag or some foreign flag that's being waved and, the conversation about immigration in this country, there's no question that it is a dysfunctional immigration system that has served the interest, and I would say the diametric interest of both parties. If Republicans want cheap labor and the Democrats want votes, but it's like, well, wait a minute, what about the greater good? What's in the best interest of America? But to have people who can come to this country and add to the proposition of the land of the free, and that's an add to proposition. I got to tell you, for many years, I was honored to meet with many CEOs across the country. And one of the things that I shared with them constantly was, look at you have a company mission, and you've got to keep beating that drumbeat because people forget. It's kind of like, I don't know if you remember the play of Steinbeck's play of Mice and Men, and what you heard recurring there was Lenny was always wanting to hear what was the vision, where were they going, and he'd always remind his brother, hey, look, we're gonna be in a cabin, we're on the river, we're going to be fishing and that. And he was just constantly painting this picture of hope, for his brother in Steinbeck's of Mice and Men. What a great story. And that's what leaders do, is they put that vision out there and they keep beating that drumbeat of vision, saying, here, this is where America is going. And I believe this is what we've been suffering for a long time, is that we've lacked a vision. We've lacked that kind of leadership that says, hey, look it may be tough right now. And I got to tell you, we've got a grief to happiness ratio to work through. The grief is where we are right now. Happiness is where we can be if we get united and we get behind a vision to get this country back on track. 7 out of 10 of us agree that we're on the wrong track. I say, well, that's great. What does the right track look like? That's what we need to agree on and focus on that conversation so that it's solution-based, like Nellie is talking about. I mean, because we can spend a lot of time whining and getting all upset, and this is why in this show in particular, I don't want to spend a lot of time whining about it and get you all agitated. And it's okay, so now you're all dressed up, now where do we go? What do we do about this? So, our goal is we want to bring experts on to give you a sense of leadership and vision and ambition and encouragement, to choose rightly, to choose based on the facts and based on the truth. So there's substance behind the decisions that we make so that we can do something effective, that we're not wasting our time and our money like we've been experiencing here in our government. I mean, $19 trillion. I mean, it's disgusting, the amount of debt that this country has. We're much better than this. We can do a better job than this. But we've allowed mediocrity to be the ruling order of the day, and we don't want to hold people accountable. We just say, oh, it's okay. We're just going to, we'll just work harder and the whole deal. And meanwhile, the government just keeps spending money when every household in America is sitting there, if not on a monthly basis, at least a couple of times a year saying, hey, what can we do to cinch the belt up here? We got to tighten up our expenses and be more prudent. What do we do? We're doing this house to house across America, but do you think our government's doing this? I mean, we'd be shocked if all of a sudden the headline was, hey, look at both houses got together and said, hey, here's 10 things we can do tomorrow to start saving money and affect the debt. But no, they get together and just find more reasons to spend money. Nobody says, hey, let's talk about being more efficient in the VA. Let's talk about, let's not only talk about it, but as Nellie says, let's do something about it. What are your 1, 2, 3 steps of ideas that we can do to actually affect positive change that will get this country back on track, that will really lift the poor out? I mean, we have spent $22 trillion since the war on poverty. It's almost like you don't want to declare any kind of war on poverty with our government, because all that means is we're going to spend a whole lot more money and get a whole lot no more results, if you know what I'm saying, if I can say it that way. Well, the conversation will continue. As Nellie suggests, we need to get on board. Everybody, your opinion counts, and there's lots of opportunity here in America, but you got to go for it. Nellie Galan, thank you so much for being with us on Bill Martinez Live.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size for incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency. Get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX or my website, danpilla.com.